everyone for coming out tonight. And what John didn't tell you, he just flew in from New York, came straight here from the airport, and what an honor to have one of the most strongest supporters of American sovereignty supporting our campaign, and that's Ambassador John Bolton.
Yes.
And I say when, not if, when Mitt Romney becomes our next president, I have an idea who's on the short list for Secretary of State, and I think that would be great. Now, just really briefly, I used to work for then Under Secretary Bolton. I was a major in the Army and the State Department on an exchange program. We went to New York. And after that, when he became the ambassador up there, I worked on something called First Committee, which is arms control. And we were focused on non-proliferation. And Jackie Walcott, Ambassador Walcott, was up there as well. Jackie? And so we were focused on non-proliferation, which is, you know, you don't want the bad guys in the world to get nuclear weapons. You don't want Ahmadinejad, Iran, or Al-Qaeda. Some of the other folks in the UN were focused on something called disarmament. And that was these horrible Americans that have these nuclear weapons. We have to stop that. So that was part of the fight that we had up there. And every year you had something called UNGA, the United Nations General Assembly. That's what just happened. That's where John just was up doing commentating. That was our biggest, some of our biggest efforts of the year. And what happens is the Secretary of State and the President and everybody comes up there because you have a captive audience. The leaders from all over the world converge on New York. And so traffic notwithstanding, it's a good opportunity to meet with people. And I have to say, Barack Obama did. He went up and met with some leaders, Joy Behar, and Whoopi Goldberg, and David Letterman, and some other folks. But apparently too busy to meet with Prime Minister Netanyahu. And if you haven't read John's book, which is called Surrender is Not an Option, Defending American Interests at the United Nations and Abroad, I think you should, because if you're nodding your head or shaking your head about the President not meeting with people up there and how he, his actions the last couple of weeks, then read that book. And I think that it will even be more acute for you after that. And it's a terrific book. And so, Ambassador Bolton, John, thank you very much for coming out tonight and supporting our campaign.